What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Single Guy channel. I'm Lloyd, and today we're going to be talking about how to be fun and flirty over text. In this video, we're going to cover examples of how to turn a boring, average text conversation into something that's fun, flirty, something that the girl's going to be a lot more attracted to and a lot more likely to go out on a date with you. All right. So the first example that I'm going to give is something that might be familiar to a lot of you. Now, it's not necessarily like, okay, it's pretty bad. So we'll start out with it. Okay, so we're texting a girl named Maria. Hi, Maria. Okay, so the first one is, he says, good morning, exclamation mark. She says, morning, exclamation mark. So, sounds like she's receiving it pretty well. He says, how are you today? And she says, I'm good, just got into work, how are you? I think the timestamp on this is around, nine something. And he goes, me too, about to get the day started. All right. So she doesn't respond for a little bit, and then about an hour later he says, hope you have a good day, exclamation mark. Okay, so right off the bat we see a lot of things that could improve from this. Okay, first of all, he starts out by saying good morning. Now, there's nothing wrong with saying good morning. I don't mind it. It's kind of cute. If you want to be sweet, that's a good thing to send. But don't send it all the time. It seems like this guy's kind of in a routine already, and you'll see from his later text messages that is the case. And then he says, how are you today? She's like, I'm good, just got into work. And he's like, me too, about to get the day started. There's no real content in there. He's just saying about to get the day started. Well, no shit, dude. You woke up, you're about to do what anyone does, about to get the day started. So it's a nothing conversation, and these are boring, and it's no shock that she didn't respond to this message. And then he gets kind of nervous, and about an hour later he says, hope you have a good day, because he wants to send something else and he wants to get a response. And she responds with you too, probably because she's being nice. Okay, now later that day at 8:31 p.m. he says, how was your day? Question mark. She's like, it was good, busy. How was yours? And then he says, wow, mine was super busy too. Glad it's all over, exclamation mark. And then she doesn't respond to that. And then again, about an hour and 20 minutes later, he says, hope you have a good night, exclamation mark. Okay, so this has so many things that I would like to talk about. But the first one is that obviously there's no content to what he's saying. He's just saying average things that, you would assume that people are doing. You assume they're going into work. You assume they're getting this day started. But he's not giving them any content. There's nothing to talk about here. Okay, and if you don't want to talk about on text, that's fine. But why did you send the text message in the first place? This girl's probably wondering, what is this like? Why is this guy messaging me? Like, what's the point of all these messages? Is he trying to find out about my day? Because he didn't really get any information. Everyone's busy. And the other thing too is that, like, at this point in time, why hasn't he asked her out? He's never made any move to do anything to meet her up with in person. Okay, the goal of texting, the reason why you got the number in the first place, I would hope, is to meet her in real life. Otherwise, there's no real point in messaging that person if you're never going to spend time with them in real life. Okay, so he's made no effort to do that. He's made no effort to really have a conversation, and he's just kind of sending messages just to receive a message. Okay, so she's wondering, why is this guy messaging me? Is he going to ask me out? What's the point of all this? And she's probably bored, okay? It's predictable. He sends a good night message. He sends a good morning message every single day. He does 2 or 3 of these. She's not going to respond by the third. This is like, it's just... I see a lot of this in a lot of text messages that I see. It might not be quite as bad, but if you start following into this routine, you're going to be boring, okay? Don't be boring. All right, now let's take a look at the better version of this. So we're texting Katie. So this was kind of a message that I had a little while back. I recreated it. So I woke up and I wanted to hit her up, and I said, you'll never guess the dream I had. She goes, what? Question mark. And I said, we were all dressed up and getting ready for school when you decided to steal all my Go-Gurt from my lunchbox. I don't know if you guys grew up at the same time as me, but Go-Gurt was like all the rage. She goes, OMG, ha ha ha, exclamation mark. And then I go, I chased you around the school until a teacher caught me and put us both in time out. And she's like, no way. And then I go, why are you always getting me in trouble, Emma Frost? Haha, I'm sorry. Okay, so a couple of things already that I'm gonna talk about. First, I open with "You'll never guess the dream that I had." Okay, that's a lot more exciting than "Good morning" or "How was your day?" Now, again, good morning's a sweet text message to send. A lot of girls like it, but you don't send it all the time. Send something exciting. Send something fun. This is a little bit better. Who isn't gonna answer that message, even though it wasn't even a question? It was more of a statement. She's like, "What?" Now, as you can see, she's giving me these like really short answers, which is fine. She's playing ball. Well, not playing ball as much as I'd like, but she's definitely like engaged. She's in the conversation, and there's no real reason why she has to type more. So a lot of guys, they tend to stress about how much text the girl's sending. So if they figure if this girl's sending a lot more text message than me, that's good. Or if I'm sending a lot more text than her, that's bad. In general, I'd say if you're pursuing a chick or if you're going after a girl, you're probably going to be sending a little bit more text than her anyway. But that's not what you should be looking for. You should look at her engagement. Okay, so even though I'm sending a lot more text, it's not necessarily bad. Okay, then she goes, "Haha, I'm sorry!" exclamation mark. And then I go, "No stealing food when we get tacos!" exclamation mark. Now, previously I had talked about getting tacos with her at Taco Tuesday at one of the bars in the Mission. So we already have that established, and I was able to remind her about that date that we have, remind her about tacos. And then she goes, "LOL, exclamation mark. I'll make sure I use my powers for good this time." Okay, now she's playing ball, okay? When I called her Emma Frost is, I don't know if you guys watch X-Men, but she's like one of the heroes or villains in it. And so she kind of has white hair, and this girl kind of had like a whitish blonde hair, so I called her Emma Frost. Nicknames are really good to use when you start talking to a girl that you like, because it gives you like a little bit of an inside joke that you can both be a part of. She rolls with the nickname. Now she's like, she's commenting on my dream, and she's playing ball. This is great. So I say, "For the greater good of tacos, I do hope so." And then she goes, "Ha ha ha, what are you doing?" Okay, the end message should indicate that this totally worked, that she's thinking about me, she wants to know what I'm doing. If a girl sends you this message, she's interested in you, man. So the way this works, I brought it up in a fun, playful manner and got her engaged. There was content, there was everything there. The point of this was I wanted to flirt with her. I wanted to be fun, playful, over text, and I wanted to do it in a way that's engaging. So this is kind of what you should be doing. You don't have to use the whole dream thing. I like to use that a lot. But if something funny happened to you that day, like "You'll never guess what happened to me," or I bet my weekend can beat up your weekend, or something like that. These are all like really good messages to send that are a lot more fun and playful than just "How you doing?" Which aren't necessarily bad, but there's better ways of saying it. So hopefully you see from this kind of how to tackle flirting when it comes to texting, okay? Women love the story. If you make it seem really engaging, descriptive, and visual, it's gonna be a lot better than just your average message. Now again, with these, I wouldn't stress about these individual text messages too much. Experiment. You'll get better as time goes on. But the few things that I told you to focus on, I think you should try and bring that to your arsenal. Try and make the date seem a little bit more fun than just your average everyday thing. And I think your success is going to go up a lot more. So thanks a lot for tuning in, you guys. If you made it to the end, consider subscribing. I come out with videos like this every single week. If you're interested in my weekly one-on-one coaching program, this is really what's going to get your results up and take it to the next level. So if you're serious about that, send me an email at thesingleguy2017@gmail.com. Thanks a lot, and good luck out there, you guys.